Okay, now I'm going to tell you more a bit about nerve impulse transmission, which actually aims to put together your knowledge of all the functions of the various kinds of neurons that work together to transmit impulses that you receive to a reasonable action. Alright, such as I give you an example. For example, someone taps you on the back to calls your name, taps you on the back, you feel someone touching you and you turn to respond. Alright, so that whole that whole process of responding involves nerve impulse transmission. Okay, so relay neurons, recall that they lie within the gray matter of the spinal cord, and they are found only within the spinal cord. They help to channel information from the sensory neuron to the motor neuron. So relay neurons serve a few functions. They transmit nerve impulses from the sensory neuron to the brain, from the brain to the motor neurons, and from the sensory neurons to the motor neurons. So essentially they're like messengers. They transmit nerve impulses from the peripheral nervous system to the central nervous system, and also from the sensory neurons to the motor neurons. Okay, so relay neurons form synapses, which are the gaps, junctions, right, with the sensory and the motor neurons. So later I will be showing you a video on synaptic transmission. Okay, so if you can see here that the relay neuron actually plays a very crucial role to ensure that there is a connection between the sensory and the motor neuron. Okay, and if you zoom into the junction, this is where the synapse is, alright, where chemical transmission takes place. Okay, I just want to emphasize that chemical neurotransmission only takes place at the synapse. Alright, down these neurons, transmission is not chemical, it is electrical. Okay, so electrical transmission happens everywhere except at where the synapse is. So how does the nervous system actually process information? So first we have the receptors, such as your thermoreceptors on your skin, that gathers the information and the stimulus. The information is then converted into electrical signals, and these are known as nerve impulses. They transmit the nerve impulses down the peripheral nerves, which are like sensory neurons, which are an example of a peripheral nerve, okay, to the central nervous system. Then the brain will process this information based on the pattern of the nerve impulses that you receive. Then the brain sends the nerve impulse to the effectors to carry out the action. So for example, someone taps you on the back, your brain decides, oh, someone is calling me, and then you turn. The act of turning is caused by your muscles of your neck and your body that are actually known as the effectors in this case. Then the intended action is carried out where you respond to your friend, okay, who is tapping you. Alright, so you can see I'm putting these pictures side by side with these 6 steps, so you are able to clearly understand the whole process of nervous transmission. You may choose to pause this video here to process this entire slide in great detail, because it's very important.